Hi, I'm Randy. This is the Bulletproof Documentation Series, Issue 2. The purpose of this series is to give you some good information on what you need to have in your documentation. Now, what we're going to do here is a quick recap of what we did last time, and then we'll start off with some new information, and the whole video will only take 5 minutes or less. First of all, you need to educate yourself. Find out what the local coverage determinations, also known as LCDs, are in your area. Now, this is a Medicare term, but even if you don't do Medicare, all insurance companies will eventually have these standards if they don't already. So this is the ultimate source of what are the requirements for insurance. Go to seminars. There's some great seminars out there. And above all, use good judgment. Think about what you would want to know if you were in their shoes and give them that information. Now, for an initial visit, obviously you need to indicate the first date the patient was ever seen in the office, indicate the date of the onset of the current condition. Is it a new injury, a re-injury, or an exacerbation of an existing injury? When did it start? If the onset was insidious, indicate when it was first identified by the patient. State what the mechanism of injury was if it wasn't insidious. And now we get into the part of our discussion that will start off today, symptoms. First of all, you need to have the patient fully describe his or her symptoms. They need to indicate, and this is subjective, they need to indicate this. Where is the symptom or are the symptoms? Describe the type of pain. What's the frequency of it? How often is it actually affecting them? What's the intensity of it? Very often what this will be is to what degree does it affect their activities of daily living? Does the symptom radiate? Where to? What actions affect it? That could be what brings it on, what aggravates it, or what relieves it. Any other data that's pertinent that comes up, and they should be allowed to state anything they want to state about these symptoms, because what we're talking about here is subjective data. Then you want to know how are these symptoms, or is this symptom affecting their activities of daily living? Here's the thing about activities. A guy could be in pain, but if the symptom isn't really affecting his life very much, the insurance company could actually balk at actually paying much for it. So you really need to know, how is it affecting them? And there are a number of areas of activities that really should be included. Self-care, physical activities, functional activities, social, recreational, traveling, communication, senses, hand functions, sleep, and sexual function. Now, there could be others, but this is a pretty broad range of activities. And if you can show that all of these activities, or some of them, are being affected by a symptom, you can actually show medical necessity. Now, in Report Master, here is how you would show the symptoms. It's the patient's neck. Now realize this is all just point and click, very simple. Neck, it's the left side, it's a dull, aching pain, hurts up to 3/4 of the time, seriously affects activities. Does it radiate? Yes, to the shoulder on the left. What actions affect this pain? Twisting left and twisting right aggravate it. But of course you have here, B is for brings on, A is for aggravates, and R is for relieves. What other actions? Sleeping actually relieves it. Now there's a form the patient can check off that allows them to indicate all this data, including writing in things like this if they ever want to, and then it's very easy for anyone to input that into the program. Now there's another symptom for this particular chart, but I'm going to go straight over to activities of daily living. And first we look at self-care, personal hygiene activities, and realize here you have numbers that are simply placed in boxes. Now again, the patient can simply place the numbers in the boxes on a simple form, and then whoever inputs it matches it. Here we have 1 can do it fine, down to 5 can't do it at all, and the patient simply puts numbers in the boxes. Okay? And it covers all the different areas: personal hygiene, physical, functional, social, recreational. If I hit next screen here, traveling, communication, senses, hand functions, sleep, and sexual function. And then here's a box where you could write in anything if there was something else you needed to include. Now, just to see how this comes out in a report, I'm going to click Write a Report from a Chart. We're going to indicate it's a narrative because this would be an initial narrative. And I'm going to click on the date and then hit OK. Here's the report. And if we go down to current complaints, here we show Ms. Winslet's current signs and symptoms were assessed today. Her first symptom is dull and aching pain in the neck on the left side. She reported that the pain radiates into the left shoulder. It occurs between 1/2 and 3/4 of the time when she is awake and causes serious diminution in her capacity to carry out daily activities. It is aggravated by twisting to the left and by twisting to the right. Some relief is experienced by sleeping. Now, this is a Word for Windows document. You could just put your cursor somewhere and start typing if you wanted to. But it should come out in this system perfectly, so you don't have to edit. Now, there's another symptom here, but we're going to skip over it and look at activities of daily living. Based on an assessment of Ms. Winslet's history along with her subjective complaints, objective findings, and other test results, it is evident from a standpoint of medical certainty that her current condition did result from the type of injury onset described in this report. She reported suffering varying degrees of losses of functional capacity with the following activities. With regard to self-care and personal hygiene, Ms. Winslet stated making her bed can be performed despite significant pain, but only if she has help. Washing her hair, brushing her teeth, and taking out the trash can be managed by herself despite marked pain. And it goes on to describe physical activity, and if I scroll down here, functional activities, social, recreational, travel, sleeping. So you end up with a good full description of how these particular symptoms are affecting her activities. Now, I hope this was helpful to you. We will have a number of additional issues in this series, and please feel free to call us if you'd like us to include something, to make sure that we include something that you want to hear about. All right? Thank you for watching.